Ball State University. News for the campus community and all of Delaware County. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brandon Pope.
And I'm Dea Hernandez.
This morning, the nation woke up to its first government shutdown in 17 years. While many federal offices began the process of shutting their doors, this morning, Congress convened with two sides still very far apart on a solution to the budget crisis. CNN's Tori Dunnan has the latest from Washington.
Mr. Speaker, a message from the Senate.
Simply put, still no deal. On Capitol Hill, the showdown over a partial government shutdown plays on.
Speaker Boehner and his band of Tea Party radicals have done the unthinkable.
My goodness, they won't even sit down and have a discussion about this.
The sticking point, House Republicans want anti-Obamacare amendments in the spending bill. Senate Democrats say no way, no how.
They've shut down the government over an ideological crusade to deny affordable health insurance to millions of Americans. In other words, they demanded ransom just for doing their job.
But as the finger pointing continues, Americans are already feeling the impact. An estimated 800,000 federal employees are furloughed.
People have, bills, they have children in college, they have things they have to get paid.
I'm really annoyed at it and very disappointed.
It's not just paychecks, parks are closed, and even panda cams at the zoo went dark. Millions of people who depend on some food assistance are directly impacted. Those applying for federal loans to buy a house will have to wait. As for what's exempt, Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment benefits will keep being paid. Air traffic control and military salaries still funded, and you'll still get your mail.
The longer this shutdown continues, the worse the effects will be.
And there's no resolution in sight. In Washington, I'm Tori Dunnan.
Thanks, Tori. CNN reported that the 533 current members of Congress, along with the president, will also continue to receive paychecks, but it is still uncertain how the shutdown will affect the U.S. economy and military veterans. CNN said that Moody's Analytics firm has estimated that if the shutdown lasts 3 to 4 weeks, it will cost the economy $55 billion. Elderly and ill veterans could also see a halt to disability and pension checks from the Veterans Affairs Department if the shutdown continues until late October. That, according to CNN.
And the center of the debate lies in the Affordable Care Act, which officially went into effect today. Now millions of uninsured Americans can begin shopping for insurance plans. People who have insurance through their employer or Medicare aren't affected, and for those who can't afford insurance, there are programs to help you too. Today, President Obama handed down the blame to Republicans who he says are crusading against health care.
Deficits, it's not about budgets. This shutdown is about rolling back our efforts to provide health insurance to folks who don't have it. It's all about rolling back the Affordable Care Act. This, more than anything else, seems to be what the Republican Party stands for these days.
Most people request or hope to have their birthdays off work, but that wasn't the intent for Yosemite National Park, whose 123rd birthday also coincided with the government shutdown. Due to the government shutdown, a lot of organizations are finding themselves closed for business, those deemed as non-essential, including national parks like Yosemite. All 401 national park services, which collectively average about 715,000 visitors per day in October, will be closed. Parks are not the only government entity. The Smithsonian's 19 museums and galleries, the Statue of Liberty, the National Zoo, the National Museum of Naval Aviation, and the National Museum of U.S. Air Force will also have their doors locked. And these are just a few of the closures. Even areas outside the U.S. will be impacted. Visitors trying to pay their respects to American military cemeteries located outside of the United States will be unable to visit. The Normandy American Cemetery and the 23 other overseas cemeteries operated by the American Battle Monuments Commission will be closed to the public for the duration of the shutdown. But those individuals who took the day to try to visit these parks are not the only ones that are having issues. The ones who feel the most passionate, those who jumped the boat and went over to try to visit the Statue of Liberty today.
I'm not going to let Congress, make me miss the Statue of Liberty, which is so important to me as a retired history teacher.
Thanks, Jennifer. A large portion of the federal employees in Indianapolis are off the hook for now. The Defense Finance and Accounting Service, which employs 4,000 civilians in Lawrence, operates off fees paid by military units, for which it provides parole and accounting services. Federal courts say that they have enough funds from fees and other sources to operate for about the first 10 working days of a shutdown. About 1,000 Hoosiers who are on active duty will work, but will not get a federal paycheck until the government funding resumes. According to the governor's communication director, the state has decided to pay members of the National Guard and then seek reimbursement from the federal government.
The country has been tuned into the shutdown, but luckily the government workers of Muncie and Delaware County are still on the job. Mayor Dennis Tyler reassured his Twitter followers this morning that the local government is in full operation by tweeting, "Beautiful day in Muncie today. City Hall will be open for business." Officials are watching for long-term repercussions on federally funded projects, but don't expect an immediate effect. News of the government shutdown has spread quickly to students on Ball State campus. NewsLink reporter Jillian McNulty took the streets to see students' initial reactions to the shutdown.
I think it's really selfish that congressmen and congresswomen will still continue to get paychecks, even though people that work for government jobs and things won't even see a penny until the government comes back online.
Honestly, didn't care because it's probably going to get solved someday.
And I just think it's annoying because in normal real life jobs, if people don't come to conclusions, they get fired, but the government can just decide not to talk to each other and be fine and shut down jobs for people. So I think it's stupid.
I think politics are kind of ridiculous at times, and this is just an example of people not being willing to put aside their own agendas to help people figure out issues. It's kind of agitating to me.
All right, it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about the government shutdown? Tweet at NewsLink_BSU or use the hashtag NLIBSU with your response. And I'll tell you what, Dale, we've been worrying about the government shutdown. I was worried about rain today. It started to look kind of dreary.
I tried to play it safe. Sometimes I took my umbrella, other times I didn't. I was really worried that I would come out of class and not have an umbrella and it would be raining.
Well, let's see if we're going to need umbrellas with David Stradling with weather.
Yeah, today you really didn't need the umbrella. It was kind of cloudy. That's what kept the temperature down today. But looking into the future, you may need to bring it, come up the next couple of days, but we'll cover that a little bit later. Saw 74 as a high today, 60 as a low when you woke up. Those are both above average, and those are both not anywhere near the record temperatures, so no extremes. 69 right now in Muncie with a calm wind. The dew point is 59. It's a little higher than what we've seen lately, so it might be why it's a little bit humid outside. You might feel a little bit. And clouds are kind of breaking away out of the area, diminishing, and there's no rain right now, but I'm expecting the rain. You kind of see down here near the southern tip of Arkansas, that's going to push northward overnight into tomorrow, and that's what the rain chances are going to be. Some thunderstorms embedded. Warmer air will move in with this, and you may see a little bit of patchy morning fog like you did this morning coming up in the next few days. So back to you guys.
Park City to space, Ball State students are hard at work.
Coming up, find out how Cardinals are blasting off, going for gold, and making a name for themselves on a national level. Stay tuned.
So you were looking for the Ball State Daily News and instead you found this, The Daily. Don't worry, you're in the right place. I'm Benjamin Dashley, the editor of The Daily News.
I'm Natalie Wagner, news director of NewsLink Indiana. Ball State's nightly student newscast is still on TV, but now you can also find our video online right here at The Daily.
I'm Taylor Ellis, editor-in-chief of Ball Bearings. You can still find our magazine in print as well as at our regular website, but now you can also see Ball Bearings content here at The Daily.
I'm Payne Horning, news director of WCRD. You can still hear us on FM and at our regular website, but now you can also access our news reporting here at The Daily.
I'm Katie Hargett from Ball State Sports Link. We're still covering the spectrum of Ball State sports in all the usual places, but now you can also connect with Sports Link here at The Daily.
The new one-stop gateway to Ball State student media is The Daily.
Unified, not uniform.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
You must be your fairy godmother?
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose one that's the right fit for your child's age and size.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember, their happily ever afters are in your hands. To find out more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
New details tonight involving your safety on campus. You can now find the 2013 Campus Security and Fire Safety Reports in PDF form on the BSU website. You can also receive printed copies on the 4th floor of the Student Center from the Office of Student Rights and Community Standards. Included are criminal statistics, information on safety awareness and crime prevention, and sex offenders from the past 3 years.
Professors from the Ball State Human Performance Lab, along with graduate students, have been working together with NASA to create a program that will keep astronauts in better condition once in space. NewsLink Indiana's Jackie Schlebach has more.
Trip in space can cause an astronaut to lose 30% of their muscle mass, causing a decrease in their health once back on Earth. So far, 3 astronauts have been tested and monitored in the space station down in Houston, Texas, as part of this 2-year program, SPRINT. Examining the skeletal muscle changes in astronauts has been the main focus of this program, enabling investigators to maintain the health of those in space. Equipment such as those shown include the treadmill, bicycle, and resistance system are available at the International Space Station for the astronauts to make use of. 2 Ball State professors and brothers, Scott and Todd Trapp, recently took a trip down to Houston to collaborate with investigators at the space station in observing an astronaut who just returned from space. Muscle tissue was brought back and will be analyzed in the Human Performance Lab facilities here on campus. They have high-tech machinery that can pull apart the tissue for further analysis. This lab has largely been funded by NASA, especially since the early 1990s when it was invited to be involved in projects relating to muscle physiology. SPRINT has evolved from previous research done on examinations of astronauts flying in space. As of now, astronauts are sent for 6 months, but by investing time and research into muscle health, the time spent in space could be extended to a year. NewsLink Indiana, I'm Jackie Schlebach.
BSU at the Games have been in Utah at the 2013 Team USA Media Summit since Sunday, talking with past and future Olympians. A group of 14 students led by Professor Susie Smith and Ryan Sparrow have been working side by side with around 150 worldwide journalists. They have been attending different media sessions and talking with multiple athletes. Drew Boggs, one of the students participating in the summit, said that it has been an amazing experience, not just being able to report an Olympic athletes, but it has been a great opportunity to get a chance to pick the brains of some of the best journalists in the country. It is a great way to warm up for the Winter Olympics, and Sochi, Russia. Boggs said. This team of student reporters will make their way back to campus tomorrow afternoon.
Now time for a look at headlines from around the area on Ball State's source for online news, The Daily. I'm Katrina Ent. New development to include commercial and residential structures and being built in the village. The Daily News has an exclusive interview with one of the Ball State's architecture students to give more details about the development. 4 classes have recently been charged for teaching atheism in astronomy classes, and the university will be investigating the 4 classes. Student veterans could possibly lose financial aid because of the government shutting down. If the government doesn't remain in operation anytime soon, students could lose all their money. For those stories and more from NewsLink, WCRD, SportsLinks, Ball Bearings, and the Daily News, go to bsudaily.com.
Thank you, Katrina. The Star Press reports that Muncie police found a meth lab in the basement of a local home on Burlington Drive on Tuesday. 3 subjects, 2 males and 1 female, have been taken into custody. Officers said the smell of the lab came pouring out of the house upon opening the door of the property. The meth suppression unit was on the scene dismantling and disposing of the materials. Well, you might want to leave a little extra for your morning commute. It could be a foggy start to your Wednesday.
And from the fog to storms, we're looking at a wet weekend. We have all of the details coming up.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 home runs. This is the first pitch, and foul between back to
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back. You know what, Dea? I am really looking forward to some fall weather. How about you?
I am too. You know, I just don't know how to dress anymore. Am I going to dress for hot weather? Am I going to dress for cold weather? But let's toss it over to David for a look at the weather.
Yeah, starting out, it's going to kind of warm up a little bit. You're going to dress maybe a little light clothing. It's going to get nice and cool. If you can kind of see here, we have the heat back here. It's going to be within the warm front. It's going to be pushing in overnight. And as it pushes through overnight, it's going to move a little slowly. It'll push in through the day. That will give us a small chance at showers throughout the day. But we'll cover that later on. Currently, 70 in Lafayette as well as Indianapolis, 66 down in Bloomington, 68 in Terre Haute. And looking at Muncie, we're sitting at 67, a couple degrees cooler than when we checked in a little bit ago. There is a wind now from the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. Dew point hasn't really changed, so it's still a little comfortable, kind of muggy out there. But high temps, if you like the number 77, you'll like this graphic, because South Bend, Lafayette, and Indianapolis all checked in at 77. Bloomington was a hot spot at 79. Muncie a little cooler at 74, as I said earlier. But tonight, a couple clouds. As the temperature falls down to near 61, it's going to get closer to the dew point. That's what's going to create the fog in the morning, and that's going to be the story for the next couple of mornings. We're going to see a little bit of fog. And once the sun comes out and burns the fog away, I expect tomorrow to be around 80 degrees, a chance of rain as that warm front pushes northward. That'll provide us with a little bit of rain. We'll check out here on Precision Cast as well. You can see a little bit of the rain down here at midnight. We're going to fast forward till 8 a.m. It's starting to move a little bit northward. As we move in till about 5 p.m. tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit further south, and it's not going to show up much on Precision Cast, but I believe there'll be a couple showers on radar, hit or miss. So as we move in through the evening, that'll be the main weather story as well, still some hit or miss showers. And as we look into the 7-day, Wednesday, as I said, 80 degrees, 77 for Thursday with that chance of rain through the day. That'll look like the best day for rain until Saturday, as we have a cold front that's going to move through near the evening, so those showers are going to be more in the evening. And we're going to have Sunday on through the early part of next week. It's going to cool off into the 60s and kind of low 70s. So
are we finally going to get that somewhat fall weather?
Yeah, it's going to come in next week. So
all right,
a little bit of warm up, but we'll get through it. So by the time
really
Sunday
looking
comes,
forward
we'll
to
break out the hoodies then. Well, thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. Well, Ball State's got a hot new recruit on the trail.
Find out more in sports coming up.
Stay tuned.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
So, do you have any questions?
What is your soup of the day?
We have a mulligatawny soup.
Oh, do you have any specials?
We have a steak special today.
Oh, how's that cooked?
That's pan-seared and then...
Does it come with a side dish? Is it grilled? Can I have it steamed? So, what do you recommend? What kind of pie do you have? You an actor. Aren't you from Ohio?
Any questions?
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
Rob, what's up? How's it going? Guys, this is my cousin Rob from Michigan.
What's up?
He's a teenager.
Hey, totally. All right. Oh, hey, you want to slow down?
No.
Really? Huh. Hey, you know what a beautiful animal is? A horse. A horse. Yeah. Beautiful mane, unbelievable muscle tone. When it runs, it looks like poetry in motion. It's the most beautiful thing on earth. And sometimes when you feed a horse, its lips will tickle your hand. Just tickle it just a little bit. It makes me giggle sometimes. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you don't slow down, I'm gonna bite into your head like an apple. And thanks, guys, for listening to my horse stories. I could talk about ponies all day long.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Sports. I'm Casey Miller. The football team is looking for its 4th BCS win in the last 2 seasons as they square off against Virginia this Saturday. Head coach Pete Lembo held his weekly press conference today, and his main focus was on the toughness of this Cavalier defense. Lembo said he was shocked when he read that Virginia is giving up fewer than 300 yards per game. Saturday's game will be an exciting matchup between the 8th best pass defense in the nation and Ball State's 11th ranked passing offense behind quarterback Keith Wenning. He is one of 2 FBS quarterbacks with more than 300 yards passing in each of the first 5 games of the season, and he has racked up 1,650 total yards. The game will kick off on Saturday at noon at Virginia's Scott Stadium. Well, Coach Whitford and the men's basketball team added another player to their recruiting class with a commitment from Jeremy Tyler. The 6'1" Arsenal Tech guard averaged 12.3 points per game last year. The 3-star recruit will bring a deep ball threat to the Cardinal lineup as he shot 34% last year from behind the arc. Tyler becomes the 2nd member of next year's recruiting class from Arsenal Tech, joining Rashawn Richardson, who committed to Ball State last month. And the Ball State men's golf team had a tough final round at the Jack Nicklaus Invitational yesterday. The Cardinals dropped from 7th to 11th place on the overall leaderboard when they posted a tournament-high round of 318 as a team. Senior Tyler Merkel was the top finisher for the Cards in 16th place overall. California won the Invitational as the only team to finish under par. And the Delaware County Volleyball Tournament kicks off on Thursday at Wapahani High School, and it promises to be exciting early on. The opening round pits Class 3A number 2 Delta against 4A number 4 Yorktown. The defending county champions of Wapahani are ranked 5th in 3A and will play Daleville in the first game. The tournament semifinals and championship game will be played on Saturday. And the weekly awards just keep coming in for the Cardinal volleyball team. Libero Katie Frederick claimed the MAC West Defensive Player of the Week award for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. The senior now has the 3rd most digs in program history after contributing 46 in the 2 conference wins last weekend. Sophomore Haley Benson took the award last week, making this week the 3rd week in a row that a Ball State player has won the award. The Cardinals will put their 11-game win streak on the line on Thursday against conference opponent Toledo. And tonight also marks the start of the MLB playoffs as the Pirates lead the Reds 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th in the National League wildcard game. And also with the government shutdown this week, it threatens to cancel the Air Force-Navy football game scheduled to be played on Saturday. So
I feel bad for the kids there. I mean, that's a big game right there. Big college football rivalry. It's going to be a shame if they can't play that.
It really is.
Absolutely.
And the countdown is on to Homecoming 2013.
When we come back with your entertainment, we'll take a look. Stay tuned.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
And with your entertainment news, I'm Mackenzie Clark. 73 years since the first inaugural crowning, and the tradition continues on. The top 10 candidates were announced last night for the royalty fashion show, resulting from the 4,098 votes counted online. 10 were selected from faculty and staff, while the selection of 10 male and 10 female students were selected as well. The candidates will be interviewed by a panel of judges who will then determine the king, queen, and their court. The crowning will take place at the end of Air Jam on Thursday, October 10th in Edmonds Auditorium. Tickets are on sale at the box office for $10 each. The cast of NBC's Parks and Recreation took the field at Lucas Oil Stadium yesterday, and according to Amy Poehler, the 5-year-old stadium is really an old DSW abandoned warehouse that their cast renovated. The cast members have visited the stadium before from their fictional town of Pawnee, Indiana, but this time characters are taking a trip to chaperone 100 kids that take part in the NFL Play 60 campaign with the Colts. In the show, Poehler's fictional husband, played by Chris Pratt, is so enamored by the team that he actually wore one of their jerseys on his wedding day. October is here, and Scarevania is now collecting your screams. The park has been scaring locals since 2007 and is ready to chase you into the new year. According to the haunt head honcho Brian Blair, this year is going to be the scariest yet. Blair shared with the Star Press how the Scare Master's mother even dry heaved after hearing and viewing one of the scenes. The haunt is bringing back their haunted forest, which benefits the back-to-school teacher store. The attraction lasts more than 1 mile, doubling what they had last year.
All right, thanks, Mackenzie. Well, David, are we going to have anything to be scared of?
No storms to be scared of, nothing crazy or hot or too cold, but we're just going to have temperatures in the 80s, 70s Thursday. That rain's going to keep the temperature below 80 degrees. And as a cold front moves through on Saturday with the thunderstorms, it's going to bring in some cooler temperatures Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So it's going to be a little more seasonable, a little more fall-like, comfortable temperatures than no humidity or anything. So it'll be nice.
All right, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
Break out the sweatshirts.
Really looking forward to it.
Oh, me too.
Earlier today, the online document sharing site Scribe decided to set out and begin to create one of the world's largest subscription services for digital books. The first step in their journey is to introduce an ebook subscription service that will boost thousands of titles published by HarperCollins. HarperCollins became the first of the 5 largest U.S. publishers to sign on to the service. With their service, Scribe is now providing unlimited access to most of HarperCollins' back catalog for only $9 a month, as well as an assortment of other books from smaller publishers.
Well, that's always good to know. Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.